Hey guys, it's Steve with Basketball with Steve. Since I recently talked about ESPN's joke of an NBA list in terms of their top, 100 players ever. If you guys want to check out the video, go ahead. But today I want to talk about my top 10 players in NBA history. Now, I made a video like this before. However, I really changed my opinion on a lot of things. And it's totally different. It's sort of similar, but it's still different in some ways. Now, there are a few players in this list that you may disagree with. Actually, only two that I think most of you will disagree with, and you'll know who I'm talking about when I say them, because most people wouldn't say these are the top 10 players ever. They probably say like top 15, but in terms of what they brought to the table, and let's just go. So number 10 is Dirk Nowitzki. In terms of pure talent and skill, Dirk Nowitzki is one of the best ever. He's a big man that was ahead of his time in the fact that he can shoot the three ball. I think he shot like 34% throughout his career. He can shoot the three ball. He could take you off the dribble. He had an incredible post-up game, and he had probably the second most unguardable move in NBA history after the sky hook by Kareem, his high knee fadeaway. He would back you down, spin left or right, and kick that knee out. That way you can't even get to him. And it doesn't even matter because you're not going to be able to block him anyway because he's a 7-footer that can shoot. He's ridiculous. Now, he wasn't that great defensively throughout his career. He was pretty good some years, but I would say he was just an average defender. However, Dirk Nowitzki, he's just an incredible player, and what's really incredible about him is his longevity. The fact that he was able to sustain, what he sustained throughout his career. I think he averages like 22 points per game and like 8 rebounds for his entire career. And even now, when he's old and unathletic, he's still averaging like 18 points per game. It's crazy. So, Dirk Nowitzki, that's my number 10. He was number 10 on my other video as well. But as we get lower and lower, there are some changes to, my rankings. But anyway, next up we have Shaquille O'Neal. May I say, the most dominant player in NBA history and probably the most unguardable player in NBA history. Yeah, we had Kobe. Yeah, we had MJ. Yeah, we had Melo. Those are unguardable players. However, Shaquille O'Neal took that to a whole new level. He wouldn't just be unguardable. He would just dominate you. He would make you want to not play because the dude was 330 pounds, pure muscle. It was ridiculous. And add that with crazy athleticism, you have one of the best players ever. What is he? Four-time champion, 2-time league MVP, 3-time finals MVP. Now, some of those may be a little bit off because it's all off the top of my head. But, like Shaquille O'Neal is a dominant player, dude. Dominant. And if you take out the last few seasons of his career when he was with Boston and all these other teams, he averages like 27 and like 10. It's crazy. He's amazing. Just an amazing talent, crazy player, and, just one of the best players ever. Number 8, I have Dwyane Wade. And a lot of people aren't going to agree with this. And the other player, by the way, was Dirk Nowitzki, that most of you guys won't agree with, Dirk and D. Wade. But the reason why I have Dwyane Wade as number 8 is just because how good he was. Let's be real for a second. When Dwyane Wade was in his prime, people were saying he was almost as good as Michael Jordan. Let's be real for a second. And if most people are going to say Michael Jordan is the best player of all time, then there's no way Dwyane Wade is not top 10. Now, most people would say he's top 20. Top 15, but I say number 8 all time. Why? In his prime, first of all, he was one of the best finishers in NBA history. People say Kyrie's a great finisher. Go back and look at the tapes. Dwyane Wade was even better at finishing towards the rim. I mean, literally the circus shots he would take. He was so fast. He would split the double teams. He was so athletic, so strong. On top of that, it wasn't just a great scorer. He was a great defender. He was extremely clutch. He won an NBA championship in his 3rd year in the NBA. Like, is that not bananas? You know what I mean? That's crazy. How many people can say that they've won an NBA championship in their 3rd year in the league, won Finals MVP, and averaged like 35, 8 and 7, something crazy like that? It's bananas. There's no way he's not top 10. He's a 3-time champion. I think he's like an 11-time All-Star, like 8-time All-NBA first team, All-NBA defensive team as well. Like, he's an amazing talent, amazing player, just incredible. Now, let's move on to one of my personal favorites, Magic Johnson at number 7. The reason why I like Magic Johnson is because he was ahead of his time, but he also wasn't. And the reason why I say he was is because of the flashy passes, the running the court, the ball handling ability. Now, his ball handling wasn't complex like Kyrie or Curry or CP3 or, players like that in terms of ball handling. But, for its time, it was pretty good. He was doing behind the backs. He was doing simple crossovers. The game evolved, so obviously it's not going to be up to par to today's standards, but it was still pretty good, and it was ahead of his time. 5-time champion, I think it's like a 3-time Finals MVP, incredible player. Plus, he saved the NBA, him and Larry Bird. So, Magic Johnson, just an incredible talent, amazing. Just the amount of mismatches. Like, people, you talk about Sean Livingston being a mismatch. Imagine Magic Johnson, 6'9". What was he, like 240, pure muscle. You know what I mean? And plus his career was cut short because, the HIV, which is tragic. And, it's just an amazing player. Amazing. Not enough can be said. Like, I can go on all day, but I don't want to have a 25-minute video. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on. What is this? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 6, Tim Duncan. Now, I used to say Tim Duncan is top 5 all time, and I really believe that he can be. However, when I started to think about it, there's just other players where, Tim Duncan dominated the NBA, but there are other players that dominated and also were better players overall. Now, I'm not saying Tim Duncan sucks because obviously number 6 all time is amazing. 6 out of the thousands of players that have ever played. But anyway, Tim Duncan, incredible offensively, incredible defensively. He's the second player in NBA history to win a championship in 3 different decades. Just picture that. That is amazing. That is what you call a true king. He reigned over the NBA, especially in the 2000s. From 2000 to 2010, he dominated the NBA. I mean, absolutely dominated the NBA. He destroyed players like Kobe. Obviously, they didn't guard each other, but his teams, And he destroyed players like Kobe, like LeBron, like D-Wade, like Melo, like T-Mac, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, Dirk Nowitzki. Those are all all-time greats. And Tim Duncan destroyed them. Him and his Spurs destroyed them. And the thing that makes Tim Duncan so special is, 1, he never left his team, and 2, superstars never had to go to play with Tim Duncan. They were drafted there, like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. And it's the same thing with the Warriors now. But anyway, let's move on. Number 5. This is my top 5. And this is where it gets really, 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 really hard. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. May I say, in terms of longevity, this guy is probably the most long-lasting player in NBA history. I think he played like 20 seasons or 21 or crazy numbers like that. He was playing so long that his numbers were dropping like crazy, but he was still playing, and he's an all-time leading scorer, most unguardable move in NBA history, the sky hook, great defensively, great offensively, ahead of his time. Him and Wilt Chamberlain saved the NBA in the 60s. He just an amazing talent. 60s and 70s. Just an amazing talent. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 5th all-time on my list. And also, before I move on, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Anyway, here we go. For number 4, I have none other than the lean green fighting machine, Larry Bird. Now, the reason why I have Larry Bird is, first of all, in my opinion, Larry Bird is the only player from that era that would still dominate today. The reason is he was athletic, he was a great defender, he had an incredible jump shot, he could take you off the dribble, he can post you up. He's like, it's hard to explain without trying to be a little silly, but he's like Carmelo Anthony, Paul Pierce. He has the height of like KD, and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and LeBron and Magic all combined into one player. For the shot, the defense, the basketball IQ, the passing ability, the ability to run the floor, the athleticism. Like, it's ridiculous, An incredible player. Throughout his career, I think he averaged like 24, 10, and 7. Like, that's the closest thing to a triple-double. Him, Magic Johnson, and LeBron, So, again, Larry Bird is the lean, mean, green fighting machine. Just amazing. Him and Magic saved the NBA. So that's why I have Larry Bird at number 4. Number 3, I have Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant. Someone that ESPN didn't even put in their top 10. Now, the reason why I have Kobe Bryant in my top 10 and at number 3 all time is not just because of the 5 championships or the MVP or the numerous All-Star appearances or the All-NBA first teams, All-NBA defensive teams. None of that. It's what he brought to the table. Pure talent, pure skill, killer instinct. If you were competing against him, he hated you. Kobe Bryant is not only one of the best scoring players, offensive players in NBA history, he is also one of the best defensive players in NBA history at any position. He was guarding Kyrie Irving in his 30s. He was guarding LeBron. He was guarding Melo, Paul Pierce, Tracy McGrady, Dwyane Wade. Like, the list can go on. Kevin Durant. Kobe Bryant is just amazing offensively. Defensively, he had the killer instinct. He was clutch. He was a dominant scorer, just a dominant player. And his NBA reign, and plus, the dude scored 60 points in his last game, albeit shooting 50 times, but still. Kobe's Kobe. It's crazy, man. Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, is the third best player in NBA history, just in terms of what he brought to the table and what he accomplished. One, he never left Los Angeles, which doesn't matter if you leave your team or not, because I really don't care about that. But the fact that he never left and he still won 5 NBA championships, he still proved everyone wrong who said, oh, he can't win without Shaquille O'Neal. Well, look what happened. Kobe not only outlasted Shaquille O'Neal, but he actually won more championships than Shaquille O'Neal. So get that out of the table, you know what I mean? Like, Kobe's Kobe, man. I'm so mad that we never got to see LeBron versus Kobe in the NBA Finals. At least we got to see Melo versus Kobe in the Western Conference Finals. But I wanted to see prime LeBron versus prime Kobe in the 2009 NBA Finals. But of course, the Orlando Magic had to play like ridiculous for some reason. Like, they had their sliders up. But it's all good. Number 2, Michael Jordan. Not only is Michael Jordan a 6-time NBA champion, a 6-time final MVP, countless all-star appearances. I think he's like top 5 in scoring on the all-time scoring list. Not only that, or actually 4th. Not only that, what he brought to the table. First of all, Michael Jordan was way ahead of his time in terms of athleticism. There were no players during that time besides Dominique Wilkins and Shawn Kemp that had Michael Jordan's athleticism. Michael Jordan could literally jump out of the room. Like, it was ridiculous, man. That he was way ahead of his time, an incredible player, incredible talent. A lot of you guys get this misconception that I hate Michael Jordan. I don't hate Michael Jordan. He's the second best player in NBA history. However, let's move on to the best player in NBA history, LeBron James. The reason why LeBron James is the best player in NBA history is not because of the 3 championship rings. Not only that 3-1 deficit comeback, that's like one of the best comebacks in NBA history, plus one of the best final performances in NBA history. It's not just that. It's not the fact that he dominates the end. This is why LeBron is the best player in NBA history. No matter what team you put LeBron James on, it is a title contending team. In 2007, he led a team full of scrubs to the NBA Finals. He led them to the NBA Finals. Now, nothing against Michael Jordan, but he couldn't even make it out of the first round without Scottie Pippen. Now, I'm not here to compare LeBron and Jordan like we've done before. I'm just saying, if you put LeBron on the Charlotte Hornets, they're a championship contending team. If you put LeBron on the Portland Trailblazers or the Phoenix Suns or the Philadelphia 76ers, they're a championship contending team. He's been to 6 straight NBA Finals. How many people can say that? 6 straight NBA Finals? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And people say, oh, well, he's 3-4 in the finals. How is that good? Yeah, he's 3-4. But you also want to know what happened? He's so good that his record is bad because everyone knew the Cavaliers could not beat the San Antonio Spurs. One player can only take a team so far. And LeBron led them not only just to the NBA Finals in 2007, but he had one of the best performances against Detroit in 2007. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about LeBron because I am going to make a separate video for LeBron James. But, that's my top 10. Dirk Nowitzki, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwyane Wade, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. Was that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 10. Alright. I'm in college and I can't even count. Anyway, it's been Steve with Basketball with Steve. Let me know your guys' top 10 in the comment section below. If you have any video ideas or if you want me to talk about something, just let me know. There will be some changes to this channel very, very soon as 2K17 comes out. But anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.